Hi everybody, and I just thought I'd turn on the camera. I was feeling a little bit tight this evening. I did a bunch of other video stuff that was not trumpet related for one of my classes, and I don't know, I'm just feeling like I didn't drink enough water or something, and I was trying to get loosened up, and I thought, oh, you know what, I'm going to practice characteristic study number 2. That always makes me really think about how I'm playing and set my embouchure up right, but also use it well. Right, and then I thought, well, I'm just kind of hacking through this. I should really put on the metronome, and still not turning on the stream. And then finally, I said, well, geez, you know, this is maybe something that at least some of my students might be interested in, kind of looking at as far as like, how does somebody practice something, right? And this is one that everybody has access to. It's in the Arban's book. Now, my version, I'm using my old leather-bound Arban's book here. And it doesn't have dynamic markings, but I do remember that it was very soft when I looked in the newer editions. And I think that that's right, mostly because they generally in the 60s, 70s, 80s, generally they played very softly, especially when things were very technical, right? Because it helps you go longer without needing to take a breath. And as soon as you take a breath, well, you might change your embouchure, it might not come out very good, right? So anyway. I could be playing this on a vintage instrument, but I'm working on my trumpet playing. So let's turn this down a little bit so we can see the bell. And I'll try to stay back here and do it. So we're doing metronome practice, and I'm at 90 right now. I think I can handle 90. This is number 2 again, for those of you who might want to follow along. So a couple things went wrong there. First of all, I kept getting little cuffed attacks. That's because my lip wasn't really in the right position. So I went for, right? That's because it was too tight against itself, right? Not against the other lip necessarily, but I need to get, I'm sorry, I should have turned it off. I need to get up to there without changing my lip so much. So it's not a matter of relaxing my lip, far from it. It's a matter of keeping it firm, keeping it in the same spot, right? That also happened earlier on when I started trying to tongue, right? I got real dirty sort of articulations there, again, because I wasn't firm enough and far forward enough. So I need to make sure that my lip wants to respond, but also under the duress of whatever I have to throw at it, right? That's on the page. So. First, I'm going to make sure it's in a good position. So you can hear, I'm just making sure that I feel really well set up to play this range on the trumpet at this basic style and dynamic. And if I didn't do that, I'd just be hacking through it, missing that G sharp, missing a lot of the E's, missing a lot of the tongued notes, right? So now, before I forget how to do that, I want to apply it in time. So you heard, as soon as I started making the same mistakes, rather than slow it back down and go out of time again, I went smaller, right? Which is a different slow. If I go just this much, well, then I only have to worry about this much, and then I can wait and do the next part, wait and do the next part. So I'm doing it. This is chunking if you've been to the stream before. So that's good. I've done a little bit of chunking. And a lot of times it's because, my tightness, if I rest too long, then I forget where things need to be and I have to find them again. And that's okay, but I still need to rest. I can't just play because I feel like I'm in a good spot, right? So let's see if we can do some of this. Okay, so we're doing much better. And I tried to play through the E flat section because a lot of times you think, oh, well, it's just the same, right? It's just down a half step. Not so much, because the different lengths of tubing sometimes affect your lip different ways. And even though we try not to let them, and they shouldn't really matter, they do. And so we need to practice both. And so I just thought I'd do a little test. It is the same, everything is the same down a half step. But that doesn't necessarily make it easy, especially when you start involving that third valve more. Now all of a sudden the horn is quite long a lot of the time, and sometimes that can make things a little bit harder to center, right? So, okay, let's now this is all at 90, right? So I need to go faster than that, and I'm just going to go up by tens for now, and then when I start getting in real trouble, well, then I'll stop going up by tens. All right, what was wrong with that one? Now, I'm experimenting a little bit with my right hand position, so I was focused on that, but I wasn't doing some of the things that we've already established. So if you play the metronome game, which is, a lot of people talk about it, I learned it from Thomas Bacon, I think, but if you play the metronome game, you get 2 chances at any given tempo, then you got to go back 1. And I skipped quite a bit here, so maybe I just can't go that fast, but it's really not a matter of speed for me, it's a matter of memorizing where my best response is going to be. So I'm just not quite getting that. And as I go faster, that's going to be harder. So I might take a couple of tries and not just 2, but we'll see where we get. What we don't want to do is turn off the metronome because we already done that. If I need to, I can do a little like revisit, just. Let's see if that helps. Good. So we got most of it. I'm still fracking a little bit, but it doesn't seem to be related entirely to, it might just be that I'm not getting a valve down quick enough or something like that. So I might go ahead and go forward at this point. Let's go up to 110 and see what, sometimes, I don't want to say this, this sounds like bad practice, but sometimes when you go a little faster, things get a little easier and you learn new things about how you want to do it. Maybe this is too fast for my single tongue, and so now I'm stuck, and oops, I knew I shouldn't have done that. And then I have to work on my single tongue, right, until it can keep up. So I keep the metronome on, but I'm not going to play this. I'm going to play da 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 da. Right, I'm going to play like the double tonguing section or the triple tonguing section, but single tongued, which is also in here. But okay, so let's try 110. See if we can make any progress. We gotta get the first note. Okay, so we're making it okay at 110. I wanted to see how long I could go in one breath. I needed about 4 more measures. So I could do the math, but I figure by the time we get to 120 or 130, I'm going to be able to make it all the way. So let's see if we can get there. 120 now. Not clean, not clean, right? So we could go a little bit slower and try to work our way up, but I'm going to try one more time at it. So we only got one more measure out of that. So I'm not sure it's going to be possible for me. But we don't want to stop at the key change because that's lame. The whole cool part is that it goes, That's the cool part. I don't want to mess that part up, right? So if I have to, I'll breathe somewhere else. But ideally, I can play it. If I can play it softer, I can go longer. And if I can play a little faster, this is still not clean though. So let's try to go with softer and see if we can clean it up and play softer. And then we'll see if we can speed it up some more. And in this case, I might try just little chunks of it to make sure it's clean, and then put it together. Oh, that's going to be hard. Another problem I'm having is my third valve is just a little bit sluggish, and it's partially an angle thing where I'm pushing it down at an angle with my very flat fingers here. Bad finger position. But I also don't think it's that bad finger position. I also have a little crud in there. Ah, hello. Now this horn is pretty recently cleaned, so a piece of crud actually might just be literally that. Like, it might be something that I didn't clean out last time, but it often is just something that, take this out, it's often just something that has gotten in there that's not like, it's not bacteria or anything. It's like a piece of, carpet fiber or something that, just maybe from the towel or something like that, right? And so that can really bind up your valves there. Okay. Make sure it's in the right way. Oh, it still doesn't feel too good. I guess I just touched it a bunch, right? But, oh well. Let's see if we can do it some more. Okay, here we go. Still in chunks here. So I'm just running up against, that's about my very fastest single tongue that I can do, and in between slurring. So I can't go a lot faster than this, and if I don't go faster, or if I can't make it in one breath, I either need to go faster or play softer. So what are we gonna do? Well, I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, since a couple of people are on, and you probably can't hear me. I was just saying that was right at the edge of my single tongue, and so I'm either going to have to go faster and work on my single tongue, then therefore faster, or try to get it softer, but then I'm running into not using enough air well, and I need to work on both of those things, so this is a great way to do it, but I'm not going to get it done much more today, right this second. So that's stuff I'm going to have to worry about, but let's see if we can play the rest of this whole thing, just because there's a couple people on and they probably want to hear the whole thing. So here we go. I'm just going to do my best to play the whole thing. If I mess up in the middle, well, I might even do some bad stuff, like go back for notes and things like that. It's a little bit different than a performance, but I'll try to make it as performance-y as I possibly can. And I haven't practiced the middle section in years, and the ending is almost the same, but it's tricky enough that, we'll see if I get it. Okay. So anyway, just a short session here for what was it been? Not even 20 minutes, but just wanted to sort of show you the end of my day here, working on just different things. So this is again the second Arban's Characteristic Study. Oy, sorry about that. I missed a D. There's a D sharp that I missed. It's marked, but it looks like a natural in this old book. So I'm sorry about that. And I just sort of lose it a little bit near the end. But anyway, that's the piece. All of these are so great, and they all teach you different things. You know, in the spirit of sort of how everybody knows number one. I think it's one of the hardest ones. It's very long, right? And it goes through some pretty nasty little key areas, right? So you have to be able to do a lot of stuff to be able to do number one. The rest of them tend to be a little bit more one trick and then a nice middle section, right? So number one is, let's see, get my arms back. Or something like that. It's a little fast for that one, I guess. But I was thinking of number three, actually, which really gives you that, right? You got to be able to single tongue and slur right next to each other. Let's start turning this off. And that's not even the hard part of that one. That's the easy part. But you can go a little, that one's moderato. I try to push the boundaries of each one of them. I'll just play the beginnings of each one. If you have never heard these before, stay on and check them out. All right, this is number four now. Seems easier than it really is, right? It's not in a great key, and it just, I don't know, it sort of wears you out in a weird way. Maybe I'm just worn out. Number five is one of my favorites. It's so easy to get this rhythm wrong. And you're supposed to go fast, so it's so easy to go. It's like sort of rush the triplet, or sometimes it's easy to rush the other two notes and sort of put it in like a weird, you know, almost like a five. Anyway, people play this rhythm wrong. I'm probably going to play it a little bit wrong. We'll try not to. But the key with anything like this, make sure you can hear it first. There's also a neat trick with this one where you can use just one valve at a time most of the time. Right? So you can you could do it one fingered if you want. I'm not going to do that, but you'll see I'm just going to use the single finger version. It's also possible that he wanted you to tongue the triplets because sometimes the slur mark is really more of like a beaming mark for the triplet itself. So you can do it. And see, I play it just a little bit wrong. I got to work on that rhythm because it limps along just a little bit. It's not quite right. Anyway, so that's number five. Some of these I don't know as well, so I'll skip those. But let's see what's next. Six. Oh yeah. Same thing. Got to tongue. Got to be able to slur and tongue. Right, just really practicing your articulations. I messed up one spot. I added a slur when there wasn't one, but I got the hard slur spot, which is 2, 3, and then 1, 1. Anyway, beautiful. Really not hard to do if you can figure it out. And that's part of the beauty of the Arban's book is it's right there for you to do. You just have to figure it out, right? I don't know if I know number 7. We could, I don't want to mess it up and give you a bad example. I'm already giving you pretty bad examples of some of these. All right, number 8. If you have trouble with upward slurs, now they're not even on the beat. So here we go. And in this one, you get a really nice cadenza right there that you have to sort of learn to pace the right way. A couple of them have things like that in the whole book. But so anyway, I could go on and on. Now I'm up into the 30-minute range almost. I don't know, is there anyone we have to play? Not necessarily. I don't think I know 14. I never. It's too many accidentals. I never wanted to work on it. I should learn the rest of these. Yeah, I'll play 2 more. Number 10. There's a couple of them I need to work on, so maybe I'll do that on a different stream. But here's number 10 a little bit. This is a little more normal for in this section. But if again, slurring and tonguing is critical in this section of the book. So that one's one where I try to single tongue the first line and I double tongue the second line and I go back to single tonguing and just to make sure I can overlap those. I started off single tongue, but I switched to double and never went back. I think I sort of know 11. Oh right, this is okay. I know what this one is. I don't know how well I'll do, but we'll see how I can get it. You don't want to go too fast because immediately third line. Right? And that would be easy, but I can't play it any faster than that, but I'll show you me hacking through it. See what I mean? I've practiced it a bunch, and that's about as good as I can get it. Okay, and then number 13 is one of my favorites. I have to skip number 12. I just don't know very well. It's got sort of the reverse of what we just did in it, so I definitely need to learn it. But 13 is the last one I sort of know. And we'll see what we can do on here. So as you can see, and I need to learn the alternate fingerings. Da, 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 da. I just never learned them, and so I just do the regular fingerings and get tripped up. And it really isn't, the hardest part is none of that. It's at the end, which I am not going to try to play for you. Okay, so there's some Arban's characteristic studies. These are really great to know, and once you know them, they're really great endurance exercises to try to do, how many can you do in a row? First of all, can you get through one? That's a good question. And all the way through without folding, without taking a huge break before the dolce or after the dolce section. Usually there's a middle section. Can you play with good technique? Can you play softly enough that you can play the phrases? Can you make the contrast that he asks you to make? So, and then it's just down to the technique. Can you slur and tongue, single tongue, double tongue, triple tongue, whatever it is? Can you do those things and make it through? Can you do what is asked of you? And if not, go to those sections. It's right there. Just go backwards in the book until you find something that looks like that and start getting to work. All right, this has been a good stream. Thanks for coming for the people who did, and I will, I guess, see you Friday.